Where we are now, we have more than 20 staff in the region, so we've come far from the region. But the main challenges that we've had as we do the electrification in the rural areas is about the hardship areas, the security issues in the hardship areas, the terrain in the hardship areas, because we cover quite a number of hardship counties, like the Turkana, West Pokot, and Elgeyo Marakwet. One thing we've seen, there's a very big change in the lifestyle of people. Like in the hardship areas, you would find most of them are doing herding of livestock and maybe growing the mangoes and other fruits, but most of them have moved upwards, where they're now using electricity in so many things. They're opening shops that will help them in using electricity. With this region coming up, they've really gotten enlightened because we've connected all of them, even through the valleys. Our contractors have managed to go through those valleys and they've connected most of the schools there, even the shopping centers and all those. And you know, shopping centers are closer to the people. So most of them have gotten power.
What we have seen since we started operation is that Rural Electrification Authority has incredibly changed the life of Kenyans where we have gone. Some people never knew, and they confess that they never thought that any day soon electricity would get to them. So where electricity has gone, things have changed. Villages have become townships. Economic activities have picked up. Saloons have come up, welding bays have come up, and things like that. So the effect of electrification of rural areas has massively changed the life of Kenyans. And they are ever grateful for what REA has done. As rural electrification personnel, we pride ourselves very much in what we see in the faces of Kenyans when they talk to us about how their lives have changed. When you see somebody telling you how happy he is doing his business that he could not do for long hours, doing things that he could not do at all, that is a source of pride. And it should be a source of pride for every rural electrification authority personnel, not just us in the regions, but even in head office, because we have massively changed the life of Kenyans. Renewable energy is actually the way to go. And considering the natural resources from the sun, it is in abundant and is clean, is cost effective. The capital cost might be high, but the maintenance cost is low. And there may even not be bills because it's free energy from the sun. So rural energy, renewable energy in terms of solar is the way to go.
When REA started in 2008, there were a few people who came on board. So we had to actually set up, first of all, the team that will oversee the implementation of all the projects in REA. And since much of the rural areas had not been covered, so we had a lean team, which a person would cover quite a vast area then. But we have been building on our team until now. When the counties came in place, we are able to have at least one supervisor per county. The public facilities that we started with were shopping centers, secondary schools, dispensaries. We had coffee or tea factories as part of them, and community water borehole facilities, which we started with. What we have done is changing people's lives. And I've seen it in homes where we visited, we have connected a primary school, and maybe a home is connected. It could be an old family, it could be an institution, but the people there, as they are switching on, you see the faces brighten and they smile. First of all, I must appreciate the idea or the plan through the government that they have put in place to ensure all Kenyans get energy, any form of energy or electricity in their homes and in any institution, so that Kenya can be industrialized by the year 2030.
How I would see Rural Electrification Authority in future is concentration on renewable energy. Our harnessing on solar energy has been very low. So what we have come up with as a Rural Electrification Authority is a strategy of how to harness renewable energy in the future, and we'll be concentrating very much into that particular area. And we want to see every home in this country taking advantage of that. I would wish to thank His Excellency, the President of this country, for coming up with this great vision of wanting to see all primary schools in this country electrified, and not just the primary schools, also the surrounding of those primary schools have for a long time not enjoyed the fruits of electricity in this country. And also our staff for really taking initiative. It is not very easy, especially in some parts they have been working in to ensure that electricity reaches these primary schools in this country.
LEA became operational on July 2007. That is when the first board of directors was established. In 2007-08, we did not do any project implementation. We were basically setting up the organization. But in 2009, we started operating. And the first thing we did was to come up with our first strategic plan, which was covering the period 08-09, 2012-2013. And in that plan, we aligned it with the Vision 2030. Vision 2030's target is a high quality of life for Kenyans by 2030. And there are several parameters there which have to be achieved. In Vision 2030, energy is referred as a foundation, without which the economy cannot grow. So what we did was to align our strategic plan in line with the Vision 2030. And the Vision 2030 had talked of electrifying all public facilities by 2012-2013. What we did as REA, we had to start somewhere, and we started by focusing on the three main public facilities. That is a health center, trading center, and a secondary school. Those are the three facilities which we focused on over the first 5 years, and we basically were close to about 85% by the time, by 2012-13, we had reached about 85% of those three main public facilities. Then, naturally, we can consider all the public facilities in the country. That is including now primary schools, dispensaries, police posts, and all the others. In total, we can say we have covered about 70% of all the public facilities in the country. And I think by the time LEA was established, the coverage was below 30%. So that is one of the major achievements of LEA.